to see you all. I know I have changed the time and the day. So because of that, that's always a struggle. But I'm traveling tomorrow, so I didn't want to, in between of transit, do the live from some airport or something. So I said better just finish it off today itself for whoever can make it. But I know it's early in the morning for a lot of you, 8:30 in India. I am logging in from Koh Samui, Thailand. This is, for those of you who know, this is an island close to Bangkok. You just have to take one chota sa flight and then it's a beautiful city, one of my favorites. Puneet and I came to this hotel the first time for our 10th anniversary. Actually, I'll post a picture in my story of us in the same hotel on our 10th anniversary, and it was such a special feeling. It was the first time we were checking into such an expensive hotel, and it was our, like, you know how you would like to celebrate your milestone events. So it was one of those. And ever since, we got so addicted to this level of hotel, like a Four Seasons or something, that every year after my 10th anniversary, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, literally till the 23rd or 24th also, this year also we were at the Four Seasons in South Africa. We've been doing these 3-4 days of anniversary trips, which I absolutely love. There's a great bonding that happens. So for all of you to know where I am and what I'm doing, let me even show you a little bit around just for you to get a glimpse till people come. Let me see, how do I do this? All right, yes. How many of you can see my view? That's the view. It's just simply fabulous. I mean, the ocean is just never ending. If you look from here, I love looking at the horizon at the end. It is just so pretty. And of course, that's our room ka pool. It's very nice because you can actually do laps. That's the bed I've been sitting on doing all of my creative work. Everything is just so green. That is so lovely. Where are you? Four Seasons, Koh Samui. And if you have any interest in seeing the room, that's our lovely room. That's my side. That's Puneet's side. And then, of course, this very cute bathtub that they had filled with flowers. Bed was super comfortable. Four Seasons. For all of you who want to make a note, it's Four Seasons. It's really pretty. I mean, it's so, for those of you who love nature, if you are Goddess Gaia kind, then this is the place to come. And for Puneet and I, 4 days were beautiful because we've been actually working with this book called Your Best Year Yet. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, I would highly recommend this book for today. Your Best Year Yet by Ginny Ditzler. So in 2006, Puneet and I went to Goa. And we did a lot of these activities that this book recommended. And by chance, he still has the book that we worked on in 2006. So it is so cool that if you can see the date here, it says 30th April 2006, 06. Okay. So it is so nice. It's not my anniversary trip this time. It was in 2010. My anniversary is in March. So my accomplishments, my disappointments, what did I learn from them? How do I limit myself? I'm just showing you. This is back in 2006. Unfortunately, I didn't keep my book and he's kept all his books from all the years. So he has this whole collection of being able to see his growth journey, which I haven't been able to do so because I'm a very clutter-free person, so every year I get rid of all of my gratitude books, my, goal-setting books. Apart from, I think, my vision boards, which I have kept all through from 2009, everything else I've pretty much gotten rid of. And he still has his book, so it's so cool. As we were both sitting and doing all of the activities that this book suggested, it was so cool to see that he was able to refer back to one of the points yesterday I read in his book was to give Puja 30,000 every month on time. I just loved it. Imagine in 2006, I would have never known that's the money he was giving me, and that's how I must have insisted that you have to start to give it on time or something like that, which is so cool. Or so many other things in the book that I was like, oh wow, to play games with the boys and very cute stuff. So it was really, it's been like going through memory lane. Firstly, to be in a hotel where I was 14 years ago, and plus to do this work which we had done back in 2006. It's been such a beautiful holiday and such a useful holiday, because I think we're already there. It says the 10 questions that will change your life forever. So I'm already on question 7 or so. Today we should finish off till 10 and then we are kind of done for the day. What do you do with those books? I give them away, like how you sell off newspapers like that. So I give them away. But now I'm starting to regret it. So I'm thinking from here onwards, I'm just going to create a carton and I'm going to start to store it on top of my cupboards, because looking at Puneet having all his books, I was extremely jealous. Don't worry, I'll share it in the chat. Okay, it's called Your Best Year Yet. Not only that, I will do a special session for everyone to do these 10 questions with me. Okay, so in December, at some point for my Insta fam, one of the sessions I will do is a long 2-hour Insta live, and that Insta live I will just cover this entire book and really prepare you for 2024. What this book does is it makes you reflect. The first 5 questions are a reflection on what has been happening in your life up until now, and the next 5 questions are where you want to go with it, and both are such well balanced and such an amazing thoughtful process that if you would love for me to actually take a session on this book for all of you, let me know in the chat box. I would love to do that. It'll be slightly long. I don't think I can finish it in an hour. Let's do a 2-hour special session either on Insta Live or on Zoom. I'll decide where I want to do the session. But let me take you through the whole 10 questions. Come prepared with a notebook, a pad and everything to write it in, so that you can really prepare yourself for a fabulous 2024. Yeah? Okay, now let's move to questions. Today Puja is in a mood to do monologue conversation, looks like. Done ho gaya. So between the 10th and the 20th of December, I'm announcing this, okay? So everybody keep following. We will share it on our stories and we'll call it 2024 Your Best Year Yet. Yeah? Love it. Fabulous. Now going into questions. Oh, so sweet. All of you are like, yes, please ma'am, that is so sweet. Crazy Angel, I'm new, first time I've joined you. Nice to have you here. How to deal with dreams and relationships in one hand. How to deal with dreams and relationships in one hand. I wish I could understand that question. Unfortunately, I'm not able to. How to deal with dreams and relationship in one hand. I'm guessing that you're trying to say, how do I balance my dreams plus my relationships? You know what? I feel like both need to be worked upon. So look at it like a stretched rubber band. So you're allowed to stretch the rubber band. You're not allowed to stretch it enough to break it. So in the beginning, for some time, if you are building your dreams, you need to be obsessed with your dreams, and your relationships might get slightly ignored. But instead of feeling, guilty and stopping yourself from doing things, feel guilty and do more for your relationships as and when you can. So I'll give you an example. When I had started working, let's say if my mom-in-law called me for a kitty and I'm not able to go up for the kitty, I'll say, Mom, can I send 2 salads and a dessert? So while I won't be able to give her my time, I can definitely make the effort to ask my chef to make whatever she would like me to make for her, right? So in some ways, I'm compensating. So my suggestion is, follow your dreams for a couple of years before you can come back to prioritizing your relationship, which is also possible, trust me when I say this. And then in the meantime, remain a little guilty and overdo in the aspects that you can for those relationships. Yeah? Ma'am, how to stay grounded? At times I get swayed away by festivals, party, leave all my daily rituals, and takes a lot of time for me to get back to my original element. Seema, you know what? If you just lived one kind of life every single day for the rest of your life, I would call that very boring. Okay, so I think understanding that life is meant to be seasonal is also a huge part of understanding life itself. Just the way every 3 months the season changes, we go from spring to autumn to winter to back to summer. So when we go through all of that, spring, summer, autumn, winter, different energies evolve. You know, there was this forest in America called the redwood forest, and out in that forest they injected the trees for some period of time for them to not lose their leaves. So they injected them with some hormone which did not let the tree go into the winter. Do you know what happened? A tree that could live for over 150 years died that year because it did not take its time to kind of see the different seasons are important aspect of your life. So in festivals, I want you to enjoy the festival. I want you to dress up. I want you to party. I want you to put your daily rituals on the side. If something is mandatory, okay, do one or two. But if you can't do all, it's okay. And then when the festival gets over, then with a bang, I want you to come back into the new season of wanting to achieve. Currently, I'm taking a holiday right now till 12th November. There's Diwali happening in India. So we're going to be having a lot of festivities. I'm not going to be bothered about what time I'm waking up, what time I'm having my routine or not having my routine. This is my time to celebrate and enjoy life with others. The minute Diwali gets over, 12th Diwali will get over, 13th morning back to all of my routines. And if in life you can learn to start and stop and start and stop and yet build a system around that itself, you will do yourself such a big favor, because how are you going to control life otherwise? Hai na? Happy Dussehra, yes, the good triumphs over evil today. So I used to be in Dussehra in Delhi, and we used to have a park opposite our house, and there used to be these massive Ravans created, and the way the whole thing used to happen, it was such a special day for all of us. So in south of India, unfortunately, I've not seen too much of the Ravan burning, but in Delhi, every colony, every park in the colony had a Ravan. It's not my anniversary today. We have just come here because we were actually supposed to go to Vietnam, but somebody told us it's raining a lot there. So then Puneet and I said we've been wanting to go back to that hotel where we celebrated our 10th anniversary in March. So why not, do it this time? So that's how I've landed up coming here this time. It was 4 days Aida Puja holiday for Puneet, and he said I don't want to waste it, so let's go. Kriti Haira, I'm enjoying Awakening Puja ma'am. Oh, that's so lovely to hear, Kirti. Sorry, Kirti, not Kriti. Kirti, looking forward to seeing you on Thursday. I will be back, and for our final session, it will be a very, very important session where I am going to be revealing to you my entire morning routine. I call it the goddess morning routine. I will be revealing to you my entire goddess evening routine. I will be giving you so many tools and techniques to start to get consistent. So I really hope you're going to be there, my sweetheart. Life Coach Prabha, watching all of your old Insta lives and simply loving it. Lots of love. Oh, that's so sweet. I want to join your courses, ma'am. How to do that? Payal Chaudhary, all you need to do, darling, is call up Gunjan. Her number is 7823988142. 7823988142. Give her a call. She's going to explain to you both the courses that you can get into. She'll invite you for a masterclass for you to see if you like what you see. If you like what you see, Aja Meri Jaan, I'm waiting for you. Priyanka Patel, do we have a vision board session in December? Let me see what I can do about it. I think we must have one. Everyone in the Sisterverse must actually create their vision board for 2024. So I think I'm going to be doing something special for all of you. We may not have a vision board session that I'll let you make on your own, but I will definitely do a session that will enable you to be able to make your vision board, okay? Womanpreneur VJ. Lost my job recently, willingly, housewife and managing a baby, missing my financial freedom and support to my mom. How to balance it? Never easy, especially when you have a little baby. So my suggestion to you would be, for some time, see if you can use the money that you have saved, if you have saved any, to use it while you are, managing the baby and managing your life, till the baby turns about 3 or 4 and starts to go to preschool or starts to go to school for a longer period of time, and then you can even consider doing something from home. This period is a lovely period for you to improve your skill set. So joining courses, learning things. If you'd like to become a coach, I would love to invite you, so that when the baby is ready for school, you don't feel like, oh my god, now where do I start from? You literally are already ready and set to do the work that you desire to do. So whatever it is you plan to do, my darling, this would be a lovely time to improve your skill set on that. Deepika, I was planning to do a 1-year course of general coaching. I'm 40 years old, but somebody told me it's necessary to do masters first. Please suggest, as I want to start something and be financially independent. Deepika, I don't know about masters because I'm not even a college graduate. I got married in the first year of my college, as well as got pregnant within the second year of my college. So clearly I haven't even done graduation. So not true that you have to do masters, not true that you have to do anything apart from being someone who loves helping people. Communication should be your strength, and definitely the big size of heart where you really are interested in people's problems and challenges. If that is true for you, then that's all that you need to become a coach, and I would love to help you do that. For anyone in this room who would love to become a coach, this coming Saturday and Sunday, give me 2 days of your life. It's the whole of Saturday and the whole of Sunday, which is 9:30 to 6 and 9:30 to 6. Allow me to show you the beautiful journey of what it looks like to be working from home as a coach, contacting people, how to find clients and what to speak with them. If any of this interests you, this Saturday, Sunday, Coaching Mastery is for you, Meri Jaan. I'm doing it after 6 months. I think the last one I did was in March. So it's really been a long time since I did Coaching Mastery, something that I had stopped doing. But now I'm super excited because I'm bringing that back, especially for those ladies who want to start to make money from home. Renu Jacob, hi Pooja, happy Dasera. How to forgive people who have duped us in terms of money? I feel so horrible to know that somebody cheated and I lost my money. I just cannot get back to my positivity. Renu, I think it's very important that at some point in our life we learn the lessons we need to for us to be able to attract big money. So anytime I suffer from any kind of cheating or someone who's been horrible to me in whichever format, I just ask myself one question: what is God protecting me from? What does He need me to learn when I'm small, so that when I'm massive I don't have these issues? I don't know, Renu, worth how much you've been cheated. What I know is, what if God wanted to give you 10 times and needed you to learn how to manage your money better, how to trust people slower, how to make sure that you're in safer environments where people are not this kind? All of this is learning, right? So what if you had to change all of this into a story where you told yourself, what if lots more has to come? Like I always say, if anyone manages to take me for a ride, then it's never their fault. It is that I did not know any better. Now that I know better, if it happens to me once, I'm just a loving person. It's easy to do that for someone. But if it happens to me twice, then I'm also a foolish person. So Renu, all you have to make sure is it never happens to you again. Something else can happen, which it will. There's no doubt. There are lessons that we're going to continue to learn. But at least this should not happen. Okay, darling? So from today onwards, just start to believe in your heart that 10 times more is going to come from wherever this came. And you never need to... I have a policy in my head where I say, God, I don't want to take revenge from anyone. I want you to do that for me and give me instead the luck that I deserve and desire, so that instead of focusing my energy on the negativity of how I can pull that person down, I want to focus on the energy of so much success that that person should feel bad having cheated me, because today I would have been such a useful person in that person's life, right? So see if you can shift all of your conversations, and it's only a matter of re-repeating such stories to yourself long enough that they become your truth. So you can live horribly by every single day thinking about that person and going down and down and down. And guess what happens when we go down? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. God sends more things in our life for us to feel more down, because that's our default mode autopilot, right? Now I want you to start to think differently. Like, what can you start to think differently so that that doesn't happen? What if you started to say, lots of money is going to come easily and effortlessly to me now? That I don't seek any revenge, all I seek is God's hand on my back. See, when you start to say that itself, energetically, you're going to start to attract a different level of luck and love in your life. And I really want that for you. Yeah? And can I tell you one thing? Good people often get cheated. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. Good people often get cheated. Don't change your goodness for some of these few people, few bad people in the world. If I get cheated every year, I don't even care. To be very honest, because from where this came, lots more will come. और अगर किसी का by chance थोड़ा सा भला हो जाता है तो होने दो भगवान जी, because your job is to give me so much more than what I'm being cheated about. So what if we had to create a new relationship that the cheating actually builds karma points for us that we are going to get? Nikita, what is your routine like? To know that, come join Awakening, my sweetheart, because I want to share with you all the 14 steps that I do every morning. I won't say I do all of them, but I do a lot of them. But I'd love for you to learn all of them so that you can then create your own plate from the buffet that I offer you. Yeah? Puja, thank you. I was a little down in my relationship because recent day we have been fighting for very silly things, and now he is saying you are giving more importance to your dreams. I understand that, Ravina, and I think it's very important for always people around us to feel loved. So every day I would love for you to just ask him this question: what can I do today for you to feel loved? And sometimes the things are so small that you'll be surprised. My husband will sometimes say, can you put powder in the bathroom or towels, or can we, there'll be such cute, sweet things that will actually enhance your relationship. So don't get scared. Yeah. Habibi, it's Rumi. Ma'am, I am an attention seeker and I take advantages by others. How can I improve myself? Ma'am, I am an attention seeker and I take advantages by others. I'm not being able to read whether people are taking advantage of you or are you taking advantage of people. However, you know what? When we say I'm an attention seeker, I would like you to rephrase that a little bit. And what do I mean when I say rephrase that? All of us deep down in our soul need attention. All of us, okay? So we want to be seen. If you know, the word in my tribe is called Saubana, which basically means I see you. All of us want to be seen. Okay. Now, for what are we being seen is the more important question than being an attention seeker. I'm an attention seeker. I do Insta lives every Wednesday and I expect people to show up, right? So I would say, if you're seeking attention by contributing to the world, by giving, by being significant in someone's life, by being an angel for someone, that's a beautiful way to seek attention, isn't it? So my suggestion to you would be, remain an attention seeker, but change how you are getting it. Lot of us, what happens is when we don't get attention the right way, then we feel the desire to create our own unique identity, whether it is coloring our hair or putting tattoos or doing all kinds of crazy stuff to get the attention. I'm not against colored hair or tattoos. I'm just saying that, a lot of times people feel the need to look different, be different, act different, not in a nice way, because they are not getting attention the right way. The moment we start to live our mission at its highest level, you will notice there's a part of you that will start to feel grounded, and you will not feel the need to have attention unnecessarily unless it's around your work. I love attention around my work. Any other kind of attention I'm not interested in. So look at where you want to get your attention from. Okay? In case other people are taking advantage of you in the process of giving you attention, then I want you to know there is a whole concept called the passive-aggressive manipulation. What does passive-aggressive manipulation means? I praise you and then I make you do things for me. If in case that is what is happening in your life also, then I want you to become very careful, because one of the things people closest to you do is, oh my God, Puja, you bake the most loveliest cakes. I'm not a baker, I'm just giving you an example. How I would love it if for my son you could bake a lovely cake on his birthday. Passive aggressive manipulation. So you want to become very careful of, oh, I just love how you put yourself together. Is it okay if I borrow some of your accessories because I love your accessories? Passive aggressive manipulation. You have to learn to say clear no's and set stronger boundaries if you don't want to get manipulated. So while enjoy the compliment, but let them know it won't be possible this time. Learning to say no is also an art by itself that I teach in a lot of my courses, because I feel like one of the biggest things we are not being able to do is set boundaries clearly. Won't you agree? So I think setting boundaries, learning the art of setting boundaries is such a huge part of life. Which place are you in? Koh Samui 4 seasons in Thailand. Well, put it in the chat, in the stories, not to worry. Please send some positive blessings and healing for my husband who's in the ICU. I love you and I believe that you have the power to heal beautiful souls. Whatever you believe will be your truth, my sweetheart. So thank you for wishing that. I really pray for your dear darling husband to recover, speedy recovery to him. Sending you lots of healings. The fact that you're sitting in a hospital and watching the live and trying to keep yourself positive only tells me how beautifully you are managing this entire traumatic experience of yours. So God bless you and may he be out sooner than later. Sashi Leena, I'm loving your awakening program. That is such a good thing to hear. If you are in my awakening program, please put some nice words in it in the chat box. I would love to read. I don't get a chance to interact. The rooms have become so large in awakening and in coaching mastery now. We've crossed over 500 people. So I would love to hear in the chat box, what's the one takeaway you've had from the last 3 weeks? Oh, that's so sweet. SS1030, you look so beautiful, so motivating, so happy to see you, goddess, fresh and happy. Took me a lot of effort today, to be really honest. You know, I haven't washed my hair since I've come here. I'm not willing to get ready. I'm not willing to put any makeup. So I've just been in my most jewelry and relaxed mode. Today is the first day I put on all the beads I've picked up. These are malachites, these are lapis lazuli and tiger's eye. I got these 3, these are my old ones from South Africa. These 3 I got new. If those of you who are into crystals and understand all about how the chakras open up depending on what the different kind of crystals you're wearing. I love doing all of this. I only believe 20% in all kind of spiritual realm ideas, which means I am the decision maker of my life and I can outbeat any of these. But why not have the tide on your side? What do I mean by tide on your side? If something can work for me, if a particular door or a vastu or an air energy or feng shui or crystals or astrology or something that is in my favor can work for me, why not use it to my advantage? Having said that, I'm not a big believer of any of this I believe in the science, but I feel like there are too many quacks in the industry, so I don't like to give away my power to anyone. So for all of you here who've had a bad experience, I would warn you, don't even get there, don't even go there, because 80% of your power lives inside of you and 20% you can channel. It's like if you jump into a water and there is an ocean current flowing the same direction as where you want to go, life just becomes easier. You jump into a current and it's going in the opposite direction, life just becomes hard, right? So why not use these elements to improve the current so that it's going in the same direction, making your life easier. That's all. I am Priya Arora. Hi, I wanted a baby but not able to conceive. Everyone in society keeps saying Karlo. How to get pregnant soon? Any affiliations? Priya, I think today this is becoming a huge problem because of all of the intake of food that we are having. 1 out of 3 ladies, they say today, are having problems conceiving. Having said that, a lot are able to conceive when they are energetically better aligned with the universe. I would love for you to look up the moon cycles, marry your moon cycle to your period cycle. All of those things help. Of course, going to the doctor, checking your husband, checking yourself, all of that also helps. I don't know how old you are, but I am going to suggest to you that, you know what, get into a really positive state of mind, 1. And 2, the more attached you are to conceiving, the lesser the chances, because the attachment actually builds the block. So giving up the idea of wanting to conceive and starting to look at intimacy in a more loving manner for just the pleasure sometimes actually helps. Otherwise, all you're doing is focusing on, have I gotten pregnant? Have I gotten pregnant? Have I gotten pregnant? And sometimes that can cause a lot of stress, and stress builds cortisol, and cortisol dampens your chances of getting pregnant. So you want to work with all of this and see how you can marry all of what I've spoken. Having said that, of course, there are no guarantees in this. So I have a lot of women who join my tribe who land up getting pregnant and very sweetly give me the credit. The truth is, when in life you start to align with the energies of the universe, your desires start to flow towards you because your frequency becomes a match with what you want. And that to me is the important part about, if you're not able to conceive, to do that. Just join 1 month's awakening. I feel like that in itself will start to create that shift of alignment. Yeah. How much does it take to start yourself as a coach? Well, for beginners, if you came for my Saturday and Sunday, it would be less than 10 grand. So do consider it. Speak to Gunjan. She will guide you with how much to pay. But don't worry, I give a lot more than I charge, I promise you that. Lalita, very grateful to you, Puja. So sweet of you to have come on live despite being on vacation. My gosh, what commitment and real care and concern for all of us. Love you, sweetheart. Learning lots from you. Thank you so much. Actually, I feel incomplete on the days, on the weeks when I don't do my Insta live. I think I've barely missed 2 in the last 2 years. So thank you for noticing. I guess you are now such an important component of my week that for me to not do this, I think is maybe in my own way is a very selfish way of living life, because in helping is when I feel most fulfilled. So even whether I'm on holiday or not, this fulfillment means so much to me. I really, truly, genuinely love you. So each one of you who lands up coming and showing up. Deepshikha Parauja. I don't know if I've read your name right or not. Should we focus on one business or can we do many simultaneously or any simultaneously? Deepshika, it's like having twins. Okay, one baby at a time is just easier to manage, especially if it's your first baby. When you start to do too many things, what happens is your time gets divided. I feel like it's better to put 110% of your energy in one thing for 700 days and then move to the next thing. I'd heard this lovely quote by Oprah which said, it's not that you can't have it all, you can have it all, it's just that you can't have it all at one time. So try your best to do, like what I like to do is I like to create a funnel and then run it for 700 days, tweak, fix, and reach a place where it starts to have a life of its own and then move on to the next project. So what that does is it helps me dedicate myself with obsession and pure passion towards something and making it world class. So if you're someone who likes to do things world class, my suggestion would be one thing at a time is way superior. Now in the beginning, if you don't know which one to do, and for 2-3 months you want to go on both the boats and try which one is working better, that is okay. So in the beginning, trying out to know which one you prefer is totally okay. But at some point, dedicate 700 days to one thing and notice how your life changes in those 2 years. Love your holiday pictures, ma'am. Love to see you both, especially you and Puneet sir during live events. You both are the cutest. Oh, that's so sweet, Sarika. Thank you. That I will let him know. All set for the weekend, already into becoming a coach in Coaching Mastery. Love that. How to join your Coaching Mastery program? Call up 7823-988-142 and speak to Gunjan. She will guide you and help you. What to do when you are getting attracted to someone which seems very real, being married? So Deepshika, I think it's a false illusion that after marriage you will never feel attracted to someone. I think it's a wrong concept that we are promoting, that when you love one person you can't love anyone else. I always say this, how come we can love as many children but we can't have as many partners, right? So the way that world is created was to civilize society. It was best that a woman belonged to one man so that she knew who her children were, and the man was able to pass on his legacy to the children knowing that they belonged to him. So therefore the virginity concept, the whole concept of being loyal came in, right? Now where the world is going, it's all changed, right? So for us to understand that it's totally okay to feel attracted to someone else, yet love your partner, is also normal. Now, having said that, what are you going to do about it is the most important part, right? So if you can have rules and regulations or guidelines in your relationship that allow you a little bit of freedom but not enough to break the marriage, that always works. Like one of the rules Puneet and I have is we don't delete messages and we can look at each other's phone whenever we like. Now for somebody this will be so intrusive, like how dare he just look at my phone and who's given him that permission and all of that. But Puneet and I feel like we want to be 100% transparent with one another. So that's just one of the rules we made, because without phone you can't have an affair. True or not? In today's world it's not possible. So I just feel like, you know what, if you can put counter checks and balances in your relationship, it will really guide you. Because why believe that you'll never feel attracted? You know, why go down that road? Now another thing I speak about is it's okay to be attracted. That is biology. That is chemistry. That is how God created evolution to happen, that you will get attracted to people. But you have to use your intellect to be civilized about it. Now, don't we do that when we are hungry, but we sit with etiquette and we wait for everyone to serve themselves before we all start eating? Now, while we want to jump on the food because we are starving, we keep the etiquette, right? The same way, marriage has its own etiquette. And when you understand the etiquette of marriage, then you start to respect that till the time I'm in the boundaries of a marriage, I will respect my marriage by following the etiquette that a marriage deserves. Now, is it okay to fantasize about that person? Is it okay to re-repeat that compliment that he gave you 10 times in your head? Is that also considered cheating? I've heard a lot of people say that, you know what, even in your thoughts, you should not be disloyal. I actually recommend the opposite. I say in your thoughts, be so disloyal that you don't need to be disloyal in reality. Okay, so I know a lot of people will counter attack this opinion, but I'm a big believer that whenever we give energy to something and we try to resist thinking about something, it actually shows up more in our life. It actually starts to become more energized. You know, it's like if I was pushing back on something and I keep pushing and both of them are pushing, what's going to happen in the center? A lot of energy will get created, right? But what if I just accept? And as this hand pushes this hand, I accept, till where will it go? At some point, it will just stop being a problem, right? So instead of energizing it by feeling guilty, by feeling wrong, by feeling horrible, what if you had to say, you know what, there are two worlds we live in. One is the raw world where the soul was put to be attracted to everyone. And one is the civilized rules made by society to guide us so that we don't go too raw. And you know what, balancing these two is what takes a human being to live their fullest potential, correct? So you have parts in you that are raw and you have parts in you that are now you're using your intelligence to guide yourself, right? And the combination of both is what makes you a complete human being. No one person can be any one thing. We all have both these sides in us, and learning to be okay with that side where we can have attractions, we can have thoughts, we can have what we do at the end of the day with it is the most important question. And if you can remain wise enough to know that, you know what, sorry to say, but every 3-4 months your crush will keep changing, because the more you get to know someone, you get to actually know that they're not as fabulous as they look in the first impression. God created our ability to not use our intelligence in the beginning of attraction so that we land up falling in love. That's why falling in love. But very soon we realize that, you know what, we've actually with someone whose value system or something will not match. इससे अच्छा तो शायद मेरा पति ही था. Can be a thought that can come. So why go through that whole route to reach this end? I'm telling you in advance, this is what will happen. So stay away from all dangers. It's a good thing, it's a wise thing to know that when you're attracted to someone, you stay away from them. Build your own little fantasy castle and do what you like within that. But in reality, once you know this person is danger, you know you're going to get your dopamine hit. And you know what, the next time they meet you in a party, they don't treat you like that. Guess what's going to happen? You'll be as heartbroken, because one day they were in the mood to have fun with you, today they are in the mood to have fun with someone else. So you know what, all of this, I mean, you can see I'm very passionate about the number of affairs that are happening, social media, how it's opened up, so much of where we are going with life. So I think it's important that we all set our own boundaries and know what our standards are. And I always say this, especially to women who are attracted to married men: do not be an option, always be a priority. And if you're not his priority, you are just one more option, then you've really placed yourself very low in the journey of attracting love. I want every woman, at least in my tribe, to attract the best kind of love, where the guy will go all the way out to impress you, to be there for you, to support you, to love you like you're the queen. And anyone who makes you treats you like an option, please, you need to do the same, because I don't want anyone to desire less than what they deserve. And I know each one of us is a queen. We deserve the best, and we should wait for that. Hai na? I don't know if I was able to answer your question or not clearly. I went on my own tangent, but you know what I mean. My Art 1000. I often withdraw when I see ladies better dressed or popular than me. That spoils my vibes. So how to control my vibes from getting spoiled and remain high? So My Art 1000, I would love for you to start to look at what is amazing about you. There was a time when, because I was not educated, I used to get very jealous of women who were very highly educated. So if in a party I met someone who was doing masters, or she's done PhD, or she's working in this massive corporate and all of that, and I used to just be like, wow, because that's the life I wanted to live at one point, right? That was my dreams, my ambitions, my desires. And then I started to notice how I make myself or shrink myself to such a small size because of how I was thinking in my head. And then I started to say, okay, what can I say to myself so that I don't feel small when such a person comes in front of me? So I'd love for you to come up with a sentence. One of the things I have associated with jealousy, Mel Robbins says this very beautifully, is jealousy is just a way of you to know what it is you want in life. So I realized that what I really wanted in life was education. And because I wanted education, I went and became the most educated person in the self-help industry in India. Today, I may not have gone to college, but I have so many certifications under my belt, and the number of books I've read, maybe over 500 on self-development, that I no longer feel that inferiority that I used to. Now, I'm going to suggest the same to you. Let's say being better dressed or being a popular person is something that you're feeling attracted to, then I'd like you to start to work on becoming that person. These are both in your hands, so you can start to put in an effort to dress up every single day so that you feel in par with the women that you're hanging out with. And of course, there are so many different ways of becoming popular, and one of them is literally just being a helpful, nice human being. I see Puneet so popular in his groups. You know why? Because he genuinely cares for other people. For me, it is work. To care is work. For him, he genuinely, it's not his work, he still does it. And I just love seeing how popular he becomes because of that. So I'm going to recommend to you, come up with a strategy that in the next 1 or 2 years, you are able to become that woman that people should look at and go, oh my God, I just love how she puts herself together. Oh my God, I just love how she contributes to every place that she comes. She's such a leader. Imagine people saying that about you, and every day visualize this thought and become that person, okay? Because honestly, I have done that for a lot of my life. I remember at one point, I used to feel jealous of kind people. If somebody was more kind than me, I used to feel like, no, I want to be the kindest person in the room. But what a fabulous competition to have, to want to be the kindest person in the room, So I'm going to suggest to you, do the same. And just know one thing, God hasn't made everyone equal. Every flower has its own beauty. When we start to compare a rose with a lotus, with a, chrysanthemum, I don't even know enough flowers, but you know what I mean, right? So when we start to compare, we are being we're doing wrong to every flower, because some flowers scent will be better, some flowers look will be better, some flowers usage will be better, some flowers, and that way I feel like we are being unfair. What if you had to start to go, you know what, Godji has made each one of us different, and it's so lovely and so beautiful. Why can't I just accept myself for who I am? when I compare myself to all of these very fancy ladies that sometimes I hang out with, I feel so much lesser because I'm not half as fashionable as they are. But you know what? I have my own qualities, and when I start to focus on my own qualities, then fashionable may not be my number one quality, but insightfulness definitely is. So you put us in the same tarazu of being insightful, I'll beat them. You put them in the same tarazu as fashionable or more beautiful or more, I don't know, maybe they'll beat me. Okay, at least I have my own thing to hold on to. Have something of yours to hold on to. Maybe it's your education, maybe it's your kind heart, maybe it's your loving personality, maybe it's your awesomeness, maybe it's your, I don't know what it is, but find it. You know what? Because you have a Kohinoor inside you, and when you don't recognize your Kohinoor, if you don't know your Kohinoor, no one else will be able to see it. But if you find your Kohinoor, can I tell you, the beauty is the minute you know your Kohinoor, your vibe helps other people to see your beauty. Yeah? What is the fees of your course? First you come for the masterclass, see if you like it, then we'll go into the fees, okay? It's all affordable, don't worry. Ooh, we are at 9:21. Okay, 9 more minutes. Lumphi Minakshi is asking, what do you do when you drop off toxic friends in groups and they keep warning you, defaming you in social media or your building? So I think, Minakshi, one of the things that I believe is that as you evolve, there will always be a period in your life where your old friends will no longer fit the new you. Your old friends will no longer fit the new you, and you haven't evolved enough for new friendships to come into your life at the level that you need them to be. So there is this bridge that I call bridge of evolving, where you're losing your old friends and your new friends are here and you are somewhere in the middle. All you have to do is remain patient, knowing that there are people who are looking for people like you, genuine, authentic, vulnerable, loving, kind, caring. If these are qualities you're building, but you're feeling like there are people, toxic people who are being left behind, that's the biggest favor you can do to yourself, Meri Jaan. Okay, for some period, there is a part in the evolution process, in the evolving, the growth journey, the spiritual journey, where you must feel lonely. And loneliness is a great sign for you to start to fall in love with your company and replace loneliness with being alone. And being alone has so much beauty. My God, I've been sitting here in the morning just looking at this beautiful ocean in front of me and just spending time in self-reflection. And I know the more clutter and people you have around you, the harder it is to go deep within. And the deeper you go within by spending time with yourself, the better and deeper, more depth people you will land up attracting in your frequency. So go deep and don't be scared, because the new people that are going to come into your life will be so fabulous that not even for a second you will even think of the old people that have gone. You will just bless them from a distance, knowing that then they were my kind, today no longer. Okay, if you've not heard of Mahatreya's story of a dragonfly, highly recommend you go watch that on YouTube. It is one of the most beautiful videos on losing old friends and making new ones. There are 4 beautiful lessons he teaches in. It's just an 11 minutes video, but something that I recommend to everybody who's going through that process of evolution, of when you go from a worm to becoming a dragonfly. Sarika, ma'am, I feel like I like doing my routines, but sometimes I feel little bit overwhelmed with the routines. I'm happier if I'm more spontaneous and I'm going with the flow for the day. How do I change that mindset? Sarika, there are 2 kinds of people. There are the manifestors and then there are the channelers, okay? Now, the manifestors put in a lot of effort to follow their routine so that they can start to vibrate at a frequency that works in manifestation, okay? So it is you doing your goals every day, your affirmations every day, you're doing your visualization, you're doing your gratitude, you're doing, there's a lot of doing. But the beauty is a time comes where your personality and the DNA in your cells has become such a queen of manifesting that now you are now gone into what I call the channeler. Now, how do you go from a manifester to a channeler? It's like, when you first started to drive the car, how were you in the beginning? super hyper aware of the clutch, of the rear view mirror, of the accelerator, of the brake, you know, learning the art of managing it all while you're driving, and the traffic and the honking and the indicator. It was just a lot of parts, right? And today, how effortlessly you're able to do it without giving it a second thought, because it's all gotten built in your muscle memory. Now, for some time, when you have spent a lot of time setting your routines and following them consistently, at a point in your journey, what happens is you go from being a manifester to automatically becoming a channeler. That means you can think it and it will happen for you. I don't do affirmations anymore. I don't do visualization. I still do. I don't do affirmations. I don't do so much of the routines I used to do earlier. I used to have a lot of routines. I'm much more relaxed now, much more spontaneous now, because I literally know how to think about something to attract it. I don't need to do all of that because it's now in my subconscious. For 14 years now, I have lived this journey, 13 to 14 years of manifesting or designing my life. So I know how to do it. So there comes a time from your doing, it starts to go into your being, and your being starts to resonate with the alignment of the universe. Your doing no longer serves you. It's actually a lesser way of being. So a channeler is far superior than a manifester in terms of being able to, but you cannot become a channeler without being an excellent manifester for some period of time. So I want you to start to create a new story in your head, knowing that you're moving from being a manifester to a channeler, which is superior. You know, there used to be a time when I used to prepare a lot for when I had to speak on stage. And then recently I've seen I tend to go more with my flow. And my flow is working as beautifully as when I used to do so many PPTs and presentations and all of that. Now, if you come for Awakening, you will see I don't even refer to my presentations because I know the whole session by heart. I can do it in my sleep, right? So now somebody would say that's a better way, but you know what, honestly, eventually when you're in your flow, literally you speak what the room demands or needs, because you don't have a script. So you feel the energy of the room and you speak to the room accordingly. So I feel like, you know what, you're becoming a channeler. Own it. Don't be scared of it. Alright, I'm going to start to wrap up, but thank you so much for all of you who came at this untimely early morning hour as well as on a different day. So really want to appreciate your dedication to show up no matter what. How do you manage your shopping while working? Does someone help organize your wardrobe and styling? How I would love that. I do have a lady called Smriti who comes and helps me with my cupboards. She sets them up for me on a monthly basis. I like her to come back and just maintain my cupboards for all the accessories, the shoes, the bags, everything. She puts it all so properly. If you want to follow her on Sort Story. I will also share it in my stories today. She's fabulous. So Smriti is her name and Sort Story is her company's name, and Instagram handle is, I think, Sort Story, SORT. Stylist I badly need. I would love to get one. If you know anybody and you can recommend someone, please do it under this video so that I can get in touch with them. I would love to have my own stylist who can go shopping for me, because one of the most tedious things I find is shopping. Oh, so many more questions I can see that I would love to answer. But I guess I'm going to have to run now. For those of you who missed seeing the view, I'm just going to show you one last time. That is the beautiful island of Koh Samui. And I'm sure some of you can see the boats that are running in the ocean.